Welcome back to Process Mining Explained. Rudy, you showed us how to discover it. Talk to me a little bit more about that monitoring and what the value of that is.
Oh, sure. So Chad, maybe you remember, look at my screen. Here, last time we discovered that Process Invoice really looks like a great RPA potential. Now, because we want to talk about process mining, I will skip the part where we apply our magical bots, and we do RPA. Now we want to look at the outcome, the result, the impact of automation. For that, I switched to another dashboard in our application. And here you see the same process again. But this time, as you notice, it's a different color. Because the colors, we are still in the first quarter of 2019, but the colors now representing the automation rate. So already in the first quarter, this customer, they had a scan bot to receive the invoice. You see automation rate 100%. And there was a payment interface, for paying the invoices. But all other activities, especially our bottleneck of process invoice, automation rate 0. Well, the bottleneck is still there, of course, but in addition, we can see the cost per activity here on the right. So you can see that in the first quarter, every processing of an invoice in our most frequent variant number 1 was pretty expensive, $98. I mean, think about it. It's just ridiculous. So there was a clear expectation from the customer that this number will drop with the implementation of RPA. So let's switch to the second quarter here on my filter. I switch to the second quarter, and again, you see the same process. But, process invoices now has a slightly different color because by the end of the second quarter, 24% of all invoices were already processed automatically. And you already see the impact. The impact is it's not that big, but we came down from 9 days to 7 days. And also, maybe the costs are more significant because we reduced the cost already by 20%. But I promise you, this will be much more exciting in the third quarter. So when I switch to the third quarter, you can see, process invoice. So here we finished this part of the project, and process invoice by now is fully automated, 100%. And if you look at the final check of invoice here, we also started to automate the next step. But more interesting, look at the throughput time here. You remember 9 days, 7 days, and now only 34 minutes. And look at the cost down here. Again, we started off with $98, then $81, and now less than $30. And that's the real power of RPA. But finally, with process mining, we have this capability, not only to discover the process in general and discover RPA potential and bottlenecks and compliance issues. We know where to start automating. And after we have done it, or while we automate the process, we can always verify and prove the outcome. We can show the return of invest, and we can really show the power and the results, the impact of automation. And that's what we use process mining for.
Man, that's fantastic. So if you want to take your processing from 9 days to 34 minutes, get Rudy and his guys in there. Let's get process mining running. Let's discover, let's monitor, let's adjust as we go along. Rudy, this thing's powerful. Thank you for coming and sharing this with us.
My pleasure.